Okay, this is the second video of my introduction to the Windows environment and how to set up a project and commit that into the repository specifically for Lab 1. So I will be showing you how to do Lab 1 right now. I'm assuming that you have already gone to this web page and installed Visual Studio and the Ankh SVN client. So we go into Lab 1 and you'll see that there's some information that you should read, and then there's a list of exercises that you need to do. These are programming problems that are described in the textbook, specifically on pages 29 and 30. So without further ado, I'm going to start up Visual Studio 2008. I'm going to close the start page. Let's create a new project. There are different templates here to create different kinds of projects. You want the category Visual C++, and under there Win32. There's two different kinds of templates to use in this category, Win32 project and Win32 console application. You'll use both of these throughout the course, but for for the programming exercises in the first chapter, you should create a Win32 console application. And I want you to name this P1_1. So if everyone gives it that name, I'll know how to find it when I examine everyone's work. So the location, I'm going to put it in my desktop. That's arbitrary. You can put it where you like. Now the solution name, the solution is a container of projects. This is the name of a project. This is the name of the solution. For the solution, I'm going to call it CSE201. So that will be a container of all of my projects. And I'm going to click this checkbox, Add to Subversion. And then I'll hit OK. This is the application wizard. I'm going to click Next on this. These settings down here have to do with the generation of stub code. I'm going to turn those off. I just want an empty project. I'll hit Finish. And this is a note about interacting with Subversion. So it wants to know where the repository is. And to do that, you go back to the web page here, and you'll see that I have an address of a repository. This part of the URL is will stay the same, but in this part of the URL, you'll need to replace that with the name that I give you for your account. When we come back to here, I'm going to paste that in there. I'll need to change this to my account name, so this will be similar to what you do as well. And you need to select this down here. Once again, you'll use your own account name, not David Turner. And everything else looks fine. I'm going to hit OK on that. See if everything gets committed. There's a log message. I don't need to put anything in for that. I wasn't prompted for a password, but you will be in fact prompted for a password. So this is the solution, and we have one project within the solution. It has 3 virtual folders created. I'm going to highlight those, right click, and remove. We don't need those. And in this solution P11, I'm going to once again right click, and I'm going to select Add, New Item, and its code, it's a C++ file. The name of the file will be main. I don't need the extension. The extension .cpp will be automatically added. Hit Add, there it is. Now it's time to write the program. And the first line will be an include. It's include IOStream. That's for reading from the keyboard and writing to the console window. That's an include file that enables us to access that functionality that we need. And there's also another include file which you can read about in the exercise itself. It says you need to include this file. And then what we'll do in this course is we're going to include this statement using namespace std. So we're importing all the names from this namespace called std, or the standard namespace. This is a convenience that we'll use. Now, we'll explain this later, but I'm going to type in a function called main. It's the entry point of the program. It's where execution starts when the program runs. Functions start with a return type. This will be an int or an integer. And the name of the function has to be main. That's its required name. That's the entry point. And then there's an opening parenthesis, and there's two arguments. Once again, functions are discussed in chapter 4, but so you can just get a fuzzy understanding of this point at this point of what a function is. But I need to enter in two arguments. This is the type int. That's going to be argc. That's the number of arguments, the argument count, and then the next argument is a char pointer. It's an array of char pointer. I'm going to call it args. Those are standard names, by the way. You can name it anything you like, but that's what it has to be. Oh, those are the standard terms. Sometimes you'll see argv here. And let's go ahead and you'll see that I'm indenting here, right? So if we opened up a brace, a closed a brace, and then inside is everything inside. It's like two bookends, these braces. This function contains everything that's between these braces, so we want to indent to show that logic, that dependency, that these commands or statements that I'll enter it now are dependent on that. So we're going to have this will be cout. Let's just do something simple. We're going to do hi. And the book uses this notation, \n. That's a new line. And then what I'll do here is I'm going to use cin.get, opening, closing parentheses, semicolon. This will just keep the terminal window or the console window from closing. Now you'll see the asterisk here. It means the file's not saved. I'm going to save that. The asterisk goes away. Now I'm going to build the solution. That means to build every project in the solution. You'll see there's some information displayed here. And we have a failure. One project has failed. Let's see, what is the failure? It doesn't say what it is. Let's see, error, new line in constant. Oh, I forgot the quote here. So there we go. I'm going to save that again. Let's build that again. And now let's run this. Right click, debug, start new instance. There's the hi. I hit enter. And I will continue on to the next video.